Pain is your greatest teacher. Most people do everything in their power to avoid pain. They run from it, hide from it, numb it, distract themselves so they don't have to face it. But in fitness and in life, pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Pain is the coach that shows up every single time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't sugarcoat. It delivers the truth about where you are, who you are, and what you're willing to endure to grow. Think about it. The first time you stepped into a gym, the weights felt heavy, your body resisted, and your lungs burned. That discomfort wasn't punishment. It was feedback. It was your body saying, "This is where your current limit is." The mistake most people make is believing that pain means stop, but in reality, pain means grow. Every sore muscle after a workout is a signal that you tore something down to rebuild it stronger. That discomfort is proof that you are in the process of transformation. The truth is simple. If you avoid pain, you avoid growth. When you go through a brutal workout, when you push that last rep while your muscles shake, when you hold the plank a few seconds longer even as your core screams, that's where the change happens. Not in comfort, not in ease. In the storm of discomfort, you discover the strength you didn't know you had. Pain also has another gift. It exposes the mental lies you've been living with. Your mind will say, you can't go further. You can't lift this weight. You can't run another step. Pain is the trigger that brings those voices out, and that's where the battle begins. Because if you can push through the mental resistance that pain brings, you'll find out that the mind quits far before the body ever does. Pain becomes the doorway to proving those voices wrong. Now, let's be clear. There's pain that breaks you and pain that builds you. The sharp sting of injury is not the same as the burn of growth, but too many people confuse the two. The moment they feel uncomfortable, they assume it's time to stop. That's weakness disguised as logic. The burn in your chest during cardio, the fire in your muscles during weight training, the ache after a hard session, those are not warning signs, those are invitations. Invitations to step into the version of yourself you claim you want to be. Ask yourself, why do so many people quit their fitness journey? It's not because they don't have potential. It's because the moment pain shows up, they see it as a barrier instead of a teacher. They think pain means they're not cut out for this, when in reality, pain means they're right where they should be. If you embrace pain, if you reframe it, you'll realize it's the most honest form of progress. Here's the beauty of it. Pain builds not only your body, but your spirit. When you endure the discomfort of training, you start building a habit of resilience that carries into every part of your life. Suddenly, hard conversations don't scare you. Challenges at work don't break you. Setbacks in life don't crush you. Why? Because you've trained yourself to understand that pain isn't permanent. It's a signal. A signal that something new is being forged inside you. Remember this. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Nobody grows when things are easy. Nobody builds strength sitting on the couch. Every time you embrace pain, you're writing a new chapter of your story. A story where you're not a victim of difficulty, but a warrior forged by it. So next time you step into the gym, don't dread the pain. Welcome it when your body starts to burn, when your muscles tremble. Smile and say, "This is the lesson. This is the process. This is where I grow." Because pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to rebuild you. The mind controls the body will always obey the mind. Always, if your mind says you're done, your body will collapse even if you still have energy left. If your mind says keep going, the body will find a way to move forward even when it feels broken. That's the law of mental dominance. The greatest barrier between you and your fitness goals isn't your body. It's the story your mind tells you when things get tough. Think about the last time you worked out hard. Maybe you were running and your lungs burned like fire. Maybe you were lifting weights and your muscles started to shake. What did your mind say? Stop, you can't do it, you're too tired. That's not truth, that's the comfort, seeking voice of your brain trying to protect you. The human body is capable of so much more than you realize, but the mind tries to shut it down early. It's not because you're weak, it's because your brain is wired for survival, not greatness. Here's the secret: your mind quits at around 40%. When you think you've reached your limit, you still have 60% left in the tank. Imagine that. When you feel like collapsing, you're not even halfway done. That's why mental toughness is everything. If you train your mind to push past the lies, your body will follow. Let's use an example. Marathon runners. Most people can't even imagine running 26 miles. The body screams after just a few miles. But what separates a runner from the average person? It's not just endurance, it's mindset. They train their mind to say, keep moving, one step at a time, even when every fiber of their body wants to stop. That's how records are broken, not just on the track, but in life. Fitness is the perfect battleground to train this mental dominance. Every time you hit the gym, you're not just building muscle, you're building a mindset. When you push for that last rep, you're proving to yourself that your mind, not your body, sets the standard. When you keep running after you thought you were done, you're rewriting the story of what's possible. And every time you push through, that discipline carries into the rest of your life. Because here's the truth: if you can control your mind in the gym, you can control it anywhere. If you can push through the pain of a brutal workout, you can push through the pain of setbacks in life. If you can silence the voice of doubt on the treadmill, you can silence it when fear tries to stop you from chasing your dreams. The gym is just the training ground, but the real battlefield is life itself. Now, understand this: controlling the mind doesn't happen by accident. You have to train it like a muscle. How do you train it? By putting yourself in situations where your mind wants to quit, but you refuse to give in. That means doing one more rep when you're exhausted, holding the plank 10 seconds longer when your core is on fire, adding a mile to your run even when you thought you were done. That's how you build the mental armor to override your brain's survival instincts. And here's the most powerful part: once you learn that your mind controls your body, you become unstoppable. Suddenly, excuses lose their power. Tired, your mind says keep going. Sore, your mind says this is growth. Busy, your mind says priorities matter. Life doesn't get easier. You just get stronger, because your mind refuses to let the body surrender. This is why so many people stay average. They let their body control their mind instead of their mind controlling their body. The moment they feel tired, they quit. The moment they feel sore, they stop. But champions flip the script. They know the body is just the vehicle. The mind is the driver. So the next time you feel like you can't keep going, remind yourself, this is your mind trying to protect you, not the truth about your body. You have more inside you than you realize. You are capable of more than you think. Your body will follow wherever your mind dares to lead. Remember, muscles don't build themselves. Endurance doesn't grow on its own. Strength doesn't appear overnight. It all comes down to this principle: the mind controls the body. And once you master that, there are no limits to what you can achieve. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll fail, because motivation comes and goes like the wind. Some days you'll wake up fired up, ready to crush your workout. Other days you'll feel tired, unmotivated, and full of excuses. If you depend on that feeling to push you forward, you'll never be consistent. Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. Think about it. Motivation is emotional. It depends on how you feel in the moment. Discipline doesn't care about feelings. It's built on commitment. Discipline says, I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if I don't feel like it. I'm showing up. That's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. Look at the best athletes in the world. Do you think they're motivated every single day? Of course not. They wake up sore, drained, overwhelmed, just like you. But what makes them champions is discipline. They train when they don't want to. They push through when their body screams to stop. They understand that consistency beats occasional bursts of energy. In fitness, discipline is the foundation of everything. If you want results, you need consistency. You can't go to the gym once in a while and expect transformation. You can't eat clean for a week and expect a new body. Progress requires showing up every day, sticking to the plan, and doing the work whether you feel like it or not. Discipline makes you dangerous because it removes the need for motivation. Here's a truth that most people avoid. Discipline is freedom. At first, it feels restrictive. You have to say no to late nights, unhealthy foods, skipped workouts. But over time, that discipline gives you freedom. Freedom to move your body with strength. Freedom from sickness. Freedom from regret. The person who practices discipline in the gym gains control over their life outside the gym. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine two people start a fitness journey. One relies on motivation. They're excited at the beginning, hitting the gym hard for a few weeks. Then life gets busy, motivation fades, and they stop showing up. The other person relies on discipline. They don't always feel motivated, but they keep showing up anyway. Months later, who transforms? Not the motivated one, the disciplined one. Motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. So how do you build discipline? You start small. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect day. Decide that you will do the work no matter what. If it's raining, train. If you're tired, train. If you're stressed, train. Every time you show up without motivation, you strengthen your discipline muscle, and the stronger that muscle becomes, the less you need motivation. Here's the beautiful thing: discipline is contagious. When you build it in fitness, it spreads to every area of life. If you can force yourself to wake up early and crush a workout, you can force yourself to focus at work. If you can eat clean when temptation is all around, you can resist distractions when chasing your goals. Fitness discipline builds life discipline. Most people fail because they wait for the right feeling. Champions win because they build the right habit, and discipline is nothing more than a habit, repeated choices stacked over time. You don't have to be extraordinary to be disciplined. You just have to be consistent. Next time you don't feel motivated, remember this: feelings don't build strength. Discipline does. Your body doesn't care about your excuses. It responds to what you repeatedly do. The more you train discipline, the more unstoppable you become. Motivation will fade, but discipline will carry you through the darkest days. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop chasing a mood. Commit to discipline, because motivation gets you started, but discipline gets you results. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. Discipline is the weapon that separates the average from the elite. And if you want to win, not just in fitness, but in life, you must choose discipline over motivation. Embrace the struggle. Most people run from struggle. They avoid pain, avoid discomfort, avoid the grind. But here's the truth: struggle is the greatest gift you'll ever receive. Struggle is where growth lives. Struggle is where you find out who you really are. If you want a stronger body, sharper mind, or unbreakable spirit, you must embrace the struggle, not fear it. Think about building muscle. You don't grow by staying comfortable. You grow by tearing the muscle fibers through resistance, through weight, through pain. It's in the struggle of lifting heavier, pushing harder, and breaking through fatigue that strength is built. Life works the exact same way. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without pain, there is no progress. Without struggle, there is no transformation. The problem is most people quit the moment things get uncomfortable. They want the reward without the grind. They want the body without the sweat. They want the life without the sacrifice. But nothing worth having comes without struggle. The struggle is the price of admission for greatness. You can't buy your way around it. You can't wish your way past it. You must go through it. When you embrace struggle, something changes inside you. You stop fearing challenges and you start seeking them. You stop running from the burn and you start chasing it. Every rep that feels heavy, every workout that feels impossible, every moment when you want to quit, that's where the magic happens. That's where you separate yourself from the weak, from the average, from the quitters. The gym is the perfect training ground for this. That barbell doesn't care about your excuses. That treadmill doesn't care about your feelings. The weights demand struggle, and when you embrace it, you come out stronger. Think about those days when you're sore, when your mind says skip today, but you still show up. That's embracing the struggle. That's teaching yourself that pain is not the enemy, it's the path. Here's the shift. Stop seeing struggle as punishment and start seeing it as privilege. Struggle means you're alive. Struggle means you're pushing limits. Struggle means you're moving forward. The people who coast through life avoiding struggle are the ones who end up weak, regretful, and unfulfilled. The ones who embrace struggle, they become unstoppable. You want confidence, earn it through struggle. You want discipline, forge it through struggle. You want strength, build it through struggle. Every great story of transformation is written in the language of pain, setbacks, and resilience. Nobody admires the person who had it easy. We admire the fighter, the one who kept moving when everything screamed to stop. When you hit the wall, that's not the end. That's the beginning. The wall is the sign you've reached the edge of comfort. And beyond that edge is where greatness lives. Most people stop at the wall. The strong ones climb over it, crawl under it, smash through it. They embrace the struggle and keep moving forward. So the next time you feel the burn in your muscles, don't back off, lean in. When your lungs scream during cardio, don't stop. Push harder. When your mind whispers, give up. Answer back with action. Struggle isn't there to break you. It's there to build you. Life is going to throw challenges at you, injuries, setbacks, failures, disappointments. You can't control when the struggle shows up, but you can control how you respond. If you see it as an enemy, it will crush you. If you see it as a teacher, it will transform you. Embracing struggle doesn't just build strength, it builds resilience. It builds a mindset that nothing can shake. Once you've struggled in the gym, once you've endured pain and refused to quit, life outside the gym becomes easier. Stress at work, handle it. Relationship problems, push through. Financial obstacles, keep grinding. Why? Because you've trained yourself to embrace struggle instead of running from it. In the end, the struggle is not something to avoid, it's something to chase. It's the fire that forges greatness. It's the storm that reveals warriors. It's the weight that builds strength. Without struggle, there is no victory. Without struggle, there is no pride. Without struggle, there is no growth. So don't just accept the struggle. Embrace it, love it, seek it, because the struggle you go through today will give you the strength you need tomorrow. And the more you embrace it, the more unstoppable you become. Silence the doubt. Doubt is the loudest voice in your head when you're chasing greatness. It's that whisper that tells you, you can't do this, you're not strong enough, you'll never make it. Doubt shows up the moment you start pushing beyond your comfort zone, the moment you decide to rise above mediocrity. If you don't silence it, doubt will drown out every dream, every goal, and every ounce of potential inside you. In fitness, doubt shows up in many forms. You walk into the gym and see someone stronger, leaner, more experienced, and doubt tells you that you don't belong. You look at the bar loaded with plates and doubt says, you'll never lift that weight. You get halfway through a workout, your body screams for rest, and doubt whispers, quit now before you embarrass yourself. Doubt is relentless, but here's the truth, doubt is a liar. The only reason doubt exists is because your mind is conditioned to protect you from pain, failure, and discomfort. It wants you safe, small, average, but greatness doesn't come from playing safe. Greatness comes when you silence that inner critic and replace it with belief, with action, with courage. How do you silence doubt? You silence it with proof. You silence it by showing up, day after day, and doing the work. Every rep, every run, every drop of sweat is evidence that you are stronger than your excuses. The more evidence you stack, the quieter doubt becomes. When you walk into the gym and remember that yesterday you crushed your workout, that last week you pushed past failure, that last month you achieved what once felt impossible, that's when doubt has no ground to stand on. Silencing doubt also requires discipline. Doubt gets louder when your actions don't align with your goals. If you say you want to transform your body but skip workouts, eat junk, or quit halfway through, doubt will feed on that inconsistency. But when your actions scream discipline, when you train even on the hard days, when you choose clean fuel for your body, when you refuse to quit, doubt has no room to breathe. Discipline suffocates doubt. And remember, doubt doesn't just live in your own mind. It also lives in the voices around you. People will doubt you because they doubt themselves. They'll project their limitations onto you. They'll laugh when you say you're going to transform your body. They'll roll their eyes when you set big goals. If you're not careful, their doubt becomes your doubt. That's why you must protect your vision and guard your mind. Not everyone deserves access to your dreams. When you silence doubt, something powerful happens. You unlock a new level of freedom. You stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for approval. You stop comparing yourself to others. Instead, you focus on your journey, your grind, your progress. You start to see the power you already have inside, the strength that's been there all along. Silencing doubt doesn't mean it never comes back. It will, but every time it does, you'll be ready. You'll meet it with action, with discipline, with resilience. You'll say, I hear you, but you don't control me anymore. Picture this. You're at the gym, barbell in front of you, loaded heavy. Doubt tells you it's too much. You grip the bar anyway. You fight through the reps. You struggle, you shake, but you finish. In that moment, you silence doubt, not with words, but with action. And the next time you face that weight, the voice will be quieter. This is how confidence is built. Not by wishing, but by doing. Fitness is the perfect battlefield to train this mindset. Every workout is a chance to practice silencing doubt. Every set is a chance to prove you're stronger than the voice that says you can't. The more you practice it in the gym, the more you carry it into life. Suddenly, challenges at work, problems in relationships, obstacles in business, they don't shake you because you've trained yourself to silence doubt with action over and over again. At the end of the day, doubt only has as much power as you give it. Feed it and it grows. Starve it with action and it dies. So when doubt tells you you can't, you respond with watch me. When it says quit, you answer with one more rep. When it says you're not enough, you reply with discipline, consistency, and resilience. Silence the doubt and the world opens up. Silence the doubt and you unleash your true strength. Silence the doubt and you realize you were always capable, always powerful, always unstoppable. You just had to stop listening to the lies and start believing in your grind. Don't just dream, do it at the end of the day. It all comes down to this. You only get one body, one mind, one life. Don't waste it sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create when you decide to act, when you decide to push, when you decide that quitting is no longer an option. The gym isn't just a place to build muscles where you build discipline, resilience, and belief in yourself. Every rep is a vote for the person you want to become. Every workout is a step away from the old you and closer to the stronger, unshakable version of yourself. Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't let doubt, fear, or excuses steal your potential. Get up, show up, and give everything you've got, because once you realize how powerful you are, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you.